Welcome back to another episode of College Football on a Bridge. Today we're going to talk about the Missouri Tigers. Kind of a weird season last year. They ended up 8-5, but it just felt like it was kind of a weird. It was just a weird season. I mean, they had Pabila getting hurt. Things just offensively didn't really go the way you thought it was outside of Ahmad Hardy. Ahmad Hardy. Probably one of the best backs in college football this year. He's coming off, getting shot in the off season. Seems to be fine. Seems like he's gonna bounce back. Wasn't sure at first when everything happened what was going on, but he seems to be fine. Didn't seem to affect him too much. So look for him to continue on his trajectory he was last year. And again, you have him, and then you also have Jamal Roberts there as his backup, who ran for 750 yards last year. It's a backup. You get a good 1-2 punch there. It's you should be able to do a lot just doing that. I mean, they have Caden Green there, top prospect there at left tackle. So I mean, you got a lot going on. They bring in Austin Simmons, previously of Ole Miss. He got hurt at the beginning of last year, and then Trinidad Chambliss kind of unseated him. He's projecting, was a high recruit coming out of high school. Shown some flashes, but we really haven't seen him really see his potential. And then they also bring in Caden Lee, who from Ole Miss as well as we play receiver. So you got some chemistry there, along with Donovan Alagbog. And then they got Brett Norfleet at tight end, big body tight end, 260, 6'6". So you got guys, plenty of talent there. Offense shouldn't be too much of a problem as long as everyone is healthy. And defense is losing a lot. They're losing a lot from last year as far as the starters. They are bringing in. They do have Jalen Marshall running nose tackle. Landon Kitchen at edge rush, kind of a big guy, 6'6", 264, senior there. A lot of seniors across the entire that line. You have Chris Graves at a corner, Santana Banner at safety. They have plenty of guys who should be should step up. It's kind of unproven. Nicholas Rodriguez, linebacker, had a really good Gator Bowl this last year with 16 tackles. 16 tackles in that Gator Ball is pretty good. They also bring in Robert Woodyard from Auburn. So he's going to be kind of rounding out the other linebacker role there. So they brought in some guys, they filled some spots, but overall, the offense should be pretty solid, especially a running back. Defense needs to come along a little bit, just kind of step into the kind of step up to the role. Last year again 8-5. This year they start off with Arkansas Pine Bluff. They got at Kansas, and sign me up for those games. Those games are fun. Last year was a lot of fun. Then they got Troy at Mississippi State. They got Florida, Texas A&M, at Ole Miss, at Arkansas, Texas, at Georgia, Kentucky, Oklahoma. Tough schedule just because it's SEC. You got week after week after week. Just gonna be, you gotta kind of play lights out. You can't sleepwalk by anybody. And then you're out of conference. You got at Kansas and Troy. Troy's a solid team too. So not much room to breathe in the schedule. So you really gotta hope that defense is ready to go and see if you can make some waves in the SEC this year. as far as SEC schedule goes, Mississippi State's they're trending upwardly, but they're still a team you can beat. Florida's breaking in new staff there, and it is at home. A&M's at home, but A&M's that's a tough game for them. At Ole Miss is interesting with Caden Lee and Austin Simmons coming over. See how Ole Miss does in their first full year um, with Golding as head coach there. Um, Arkansas is kind of probably the worst SEC team going into the year. We'll see, but kind of projected. New coaching staff there. Texas is at home, so that's a plus. But Texas is overall they're a really tough team to play. And then they got at Georgia, got Texas at Georgia, just back to back is that's not nice. Then you round up with Kentucky, who's should be good with Will Stein. I'm excited to see them, and then Oklahoma. Both of those are at home though. Um, most of their marquee SEC games are at home, so that is a plus. But you're probably looking at a 6-7 win season just based off the schedule. It's a tough one, but they could get a little bit more than that. They can get some wins. Let me take them up a little notch. Let's do a 7-8 win season. But you would like to see Missouri kind of take that next step. They've been kind of hovering around that, above average, but not great. And you thought that they were heading that way a few years ago when they played Ohio State in a bowl game and one got that win, but it just never has really fully taken off. Whether that been injuries or whatever else, but they have the talent. Just a matter of getting everything on the right page and taking care of business and finishing out some of these games that they're in it and just haven't finished to win. Last year a lot of their losses were close. The Virginia game, the bowl game was close. Oklahoma was close. The loss at Vanderbilt was close. Even the loss to Alabama was close. So you turn those losses into wins, and Missouri could even have a really good season.